You're listening to the C1D Paintball Podcast.
Hello, Andrew, C1D Paintball. Welcome to the C1D Paintball Podcast. Funny enough, from C1D Paintball, the C1D Paintball Podcast. And it is our 2024 review episode. Not necessarily the last episode of the year, but who knows? It might be. And a couple of regulars. It's easy to call them regulars. They're here all the time, which is probably the definition of regular. We got Mike.
Howdy.
Howdy. And we have the boy next door. What I mean by next door is if you're watching this, you're watching the YouTube version, there's a door behind me. It's pink. Behind the door. Who is behind the pink door? It's Connor. Oh no. Oh no. He's broken the fourth wall. Oh, and that's why those listening on audio, and I do love my audio podcast, but you need stuff like that. And he said, yeah, that's me. Okay, look.
Yeah.
Let's bring you up to speed on where we are. The last time we got together for a podcast was for the 6EF, which was that Operation Rush at Paintball Mirabel. And if you watched any of those videos, you might have heard me starting to cough and hack. I had actually, let's talk about who's listening to us first here. As people come in, I'm going to acknowledge them because it's good. We got Michelangelo, we got Thomas, we got Christopher Struck, and we got Jeff, the man, the myth, the legend. And so here we go. All right, so as I was talking, we got Jeff has joined us for a little chit chat. Don't worry, Mike. We'll have you in. Michelangelo. I got to watch it. Mike's already in. See, this is the problem. We have to screen names as we go. See, Jeff put on his jersey, and he thought, he's not even going to have me on. But he's got number 29. Hello to Green Rental, who's out there. Okay, so as I was starting, when we did 6EF, I was starting to come down with what I thought was a cold. I had the flu, and the very next weekend I was I believe the term is flat on my ass for about a week and a half. I lost about 15 pounds or so, which is not the way you want to lose it. And really, when the guys were talking about, all right, can we do some more paintball for the end of the year? I was like done. And I'm starting to feel myself now. And with the help of Connor's expertise on Google Docs, actually not Google Docs, Google Sheets. I am a big spreadsheet guy, but at my age in my career, I don't want to learn anything new. I've learned enough. So we did a little survey of the crew, and I guess of the most, I'd say essentially the active people in the group answered, so it was cool. And we're going to review that. And then we're going to have probably a little bit of an open mic for what could be the back end of the show. And Mike, sorry, not Mike, Jeff, we didn't get to do a sound check on you. Would you like to just say hello to the crowd?
Hi, happy to be here tonight, and I'm looking forward to the conversation.
All right, cool. And because we didn't do a proper sound check, we may not hear what he just said, and it could be an extra fun show. But if for a guy who works at the airport, where time matters, come on. Okay, so
I'll just repeat every single thing he says.
Oh, that'll
sound like him. I'll just talk in a nice, sexy radio voice, just like him.
Yeah. While I spend 4 hours editing, so we simply sent out a little kind of survey, and we broke it up into 3 sections. The one section which is top secret. So you're not even allowed to ask about it because it actually doesn't exist. There was only 2 sections. There wasn't really 3. There was really 3. The first section, we talk about big events. And the second section in particular, the game days. And we just wanted players, regulars, to make a comment. What was their favorite event? What was their favorite game days? And rank like top 2 or 3, whatever. I think top 2 events and top 3 game days. Milestone too. We did have 3 things. There was a 4th thing that's secret. So just people make comments about it. So this way, for the people that are, like I said, we're going to have probably a little bit of an open mic later. For the people that are unable to talk and listen to it live, is their words may come out in the comments they make for everything. So we'll start off with the big thing, which was events. So there was 5 events to choose from. Events are non-regular game days, kind of like. Well, I'll explain. There was Operation Feed, which was which was a dinner we had in this still in the winter, just to kind of break the ice with everybody, which was nice. We had 5EF, the 5th Expeditionary Force, which was Commando Action D-Day. We had the Victory Dinner after Commando Action D-Day. We had the 1v1 tournament, and we had 6EF, which of course was, I mentioned before, was the Mirabel Operation Rush. Now we had, how many people here voted on it? We had 11. We had 12 people vote, and it really was unanimous, even though 11 people chose 5EF, and I said there was 12 because the person that didn't choose it wasn't there. That was Gene, who actually selected 6EF. And what I'll do is I'll kind of review what people said, and then we can just talk about it a little bit here. So, I mean, actually, are anybody surprised that any of the people got on with me that Commando Action was the number one on that one? Mike, you want to start the ball rolling?
No, I assumed with how hyped up it was and how big of a game it was and how good of a time it was that it would probably be everyone's favorite of the year, for sure mine.
Connor, is that where you got the most cardio of the year?
Oh, I had all my cardio the day before when I did my marathon as practice for it.
Oh, okay.
So no, I mean I'm definitely not surprised that it got like all the number one votes right within our group. It's definitely like the big event of the calendar year. So I'm glad that everybody, we were so looking forward to it. It was so hyped and it like met those expectations, possibly exceeding them even. So great to see everybody's looking back at it so fondly this many months later.
Okay, and Jeff, who might be getting a watch for Christmas from me, what did you think of? Was that a big surprise, the numbers to you there? 11 out of 12, and the 12th person wasn't even there?
Not at all. The lead up to it was fun. The tete-a-tete we had with the King of Paintball out east was a lot of fun. Your little mini videos of the Kaiser and with Thomas Burke being our king of paintball. It was just a lot of fun. Everyone looked forward to it. It got hyped up. You helped get it hype, and it was just a lot of fun. And again, 2 days of just hanging out with the gang, and we played paintball for 2 days.
Okay, now I'll just read. I'll read. Very well said. Read some of the comments. 5EF, always the event of the year. Obviously, a smart individual who's been to multiple events. That was me. D-Day, favorite big game to date. Connor. Nick mentioned All Out Blast. I like that. Oh, actually, sorry, that was Thomas who said favorite big game to date. Sorry, yeah, damn, Thomas, I stole your thunder temporarily. Technically, I Connor stole it. Connor says, great to be out there with the guys and have so much fun kicking butt. Did we kick butt? I forget. I think we
won.
Oh yeah.
We held our own. Gene, who wasn't there. Okay, Nevin, Sergeant Kill, who missed a good chunk of the season, which we'll talk about later, maybe. D-Day is the bomb. Eloquently said. I believe that was Shakespeare from one of his many plays. One of his lesser-known plays called Thou Art Paintball. Jeff mentioned it when I asked him before. He says, got to spend 2 days together with the crew and had a great time. So when you said that, Jeff, it's like, you remind me, it's like, yeah, it was a couple of really good days for a lot of us that were there for the 2 days. Michael, was that a second or third D-Day? I think that was a second D-Day. Alex has done 3, right, Connor?
Yeah, that was his second and Alex's third.
Yeah, fun event scale-wise. The chaos makes it fun and creates great memories. Chaos doesn't follow C1D. Michelangelo says, was too crazy. That's good. I like that. To the point. Mike Nichols, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, speaks for itself. Big game events, love them. A couple people were quiet on it, but still must have enjoyed it because they picked it. And Miranda, I really enjoyed our C1D group working together to battle and complete missions together. Also was able to get away from my husband following me all effing day. I don't know. Was that after a couple glasses of wine when she got home?
Very well could have been. Very
You
well could
have
have
no
been.
comment. Now, I guess the thing is, we're looking at the recap on what other events. Like I said, it wasn't a huge laundry list, but I was curious to see how it happened. And the 1v1 event finished second. It had five votes. 6EF and the Victory Dinner both had 3 each, although Gene had one first place vote for 6EF. So before I ask for you guys to kind of just expand on these things, event number 2, 1v1, fresh and fun. Enjoyed the tourney very much. Thomas, Nick, always fun getting together for some quality time. And Nick didn't even play in the event. He wasn't able to come, but for him to even just see the videos and mention that, I think is awesome. Jeff, surprised just how skilled we were as players and some weaknesses we're unaware of. Jeff, is it fair to say those weaknesses might be young, cocky players under 30?
Maybe, but and also a dependency on your equipment over tactic and skill.
Ooh. And I still think that was one of the best parts of the event was to you all had the same type of marker to use. Michael, Connor, you've been friends with Michael for God over 10 years, eh?
No.
No?
Close to.
Close to? Okay. Well, close to is
7 or 8.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Very fun idea. What I was going to say is he types more than he talks a day at the field. Very fun idea and enjoyable to do something new. Setup and map were pretty good, and the bracket made for balanced set of games where anybody had a shot to go far. Of course, cool. Michelangelo. Actually, he wrote, I think he got mixed up with it. He wrote 6EF beers and pizza. Pretty legit. Of course, we're talking about the 1v1s, which Michelangelo won, so he's either snubbing us or maybe he'd had too much beer and pizza before he typed that response.
Or was it everybody's favorite second event, right?
It's everybody's second favorite, Dad. It's not specifically for that category.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My sheet is organized, but not enough. Not too organized.
Nice to catch. Okay, that was fun. That was a fun event, and the dinner actually got a lot of votes, which I liked. It's just good. The Victory Dinner. Of course, we were allowed to bring a significant other, spouse or something we wouldn't judge. Maybe a lapdog or maybe I don't know, parole officer. It's possible. For you guys, I mean, we've already talked about 6EF, and the one thing I wrote down, and Connor, somebody mentioned, I can't remember if it was Connor or Jeff, but the hype. I was afraid that Connor and I, especially me with my big mouth, pumped D-Day too much, and the guys wouldn't like it. But I mean, honestly, before we even started on the Sunday, for those not familiar with it, D-Day it actually starts on Friday. I guess the bonfire sets it off. Saturday there's some games, but the actual big game is Sunday. I would say at least half the players only play on the Sunday rather. But a lot of guys on our side were there Saturday as well, and not just the Sunday. And it was a lot of fun. But I thought I'd overhype it. I'd overhyped it. But now that was Jeff's second D-Day with us. But you've done D-Day. Have you done D-Day before?
No, that's both my D-Days at Commander were with C1D. I had not played the field before. I've done other D-Days at like Mirabel and Black Ops, but not in Ottawa.
You ever do Arnold's back in the day?
Yep.
Yeah.
We actually we did Arnold's. Oh my God, that was I think Jared's first big game was Arnold's back in 2010.
Actually, truthfully,
really?
seeing your son come out, seeing Jared come out for D-Day is great. And when he came for a later event, I was happy as well. Connor, Mike, any last thoughts on 6EF and maybe the hype around it, or do we have too big a hype for this year's event, which will be 7EF?
I'm out
Well,
of the loop.
I'm kind of glad we did 6EF at a Mirabelle, because I remember you were telling me how you have you didn't have any good ideas for a logo for 6EF, so you got to come up with something better for 7EF. Even though I thought the 6EF was cool, the leaf.
I thought it was really cool.
I liked it.
Truth be told, 7 is worse than 6 to find, but I'll figure something out. Mike, closing words on 5EF. Sorry, what do you, Connor? You don't set the bar too high for me now.
No.
I had big plans we went Saturday too. I had big plans to play Saturday and Sunday, but once I got there and I saw how big the field was and I knew what the next day was gonna, entail, I was just like, I'm like, let's just hang out, smoke a few, relax. And we ended up staying up pretty late, hanging out with Thomas and stuff, and boom, baby. Yep.
I got the trophy. I'm waving the thing here. Connor's got one too, though. You want to show him your trophy, Connor?
No.
Within arm's reach, too.
Dang.
Beautiful.
Like father, like son.
I keep it right next to the Jergens and Kleenex.
No, it was our first, really big game and our first D-Day, obviously, and expectations were met, exceeded. We had a blast. Can't wait to do it again, to be honest. So.
Yeah, I might have set the bar high for the Kaiser, but we're gonna see what's going on with that as we go. I'm gonna have to order some more.
I still feel terrible about having the Tipex not working.
Are you kidding? I thought the duel was awesome. How it ended. I thought it was perfect.
It was pure classic cinema. The whole Thomas's stiff leg walking. It all worked.
I'm glad you noticed that. For those that this is going over so many people's head. There's somebody listening to this on Spotify who's like, why? I thought this was paintball. These guys are just talking about their own adventures. The way Thomas did go like the old fashioned old timey thing. It was like, and I didn't tell him what I was going to do.
It. I'm watching it going, how is that going to? I see what he's doing, and when if Andrew realizes what he's done and he colors it right and it was perfect. It was absolutely period piece perfect in what Thomas had done. Okay. And somehow Thomas Burke also realized, and he also at the end for the teabag, he also waddled over kind of and over exaggerated the whole. It was cinema. It was fine cinema.
It was great.
And okay, so we'll talk. Okay, now I want to talk about the 1v1 because one of the sections, the secret section, is Connor did. And I think maybe we're going to talk about it in a different podcast, Connor, the results of it, because I think it's good if we mull it over. But that was one of the sections is kind of a feeler on what we do next year, whether it's 1v1 or 2 or whatever. But I'll be honest, look, Connor really put a lot of thought into 1v1, and I'm happy everybody liked it. And I was just afraid, and I know the event is I made it known that I was just afraid, somebody would be ultra competitive, but we were what we are, C1D, and we just took it all by stride. Although I'm not playing in it next year. I'm going to be the organizer. I believe Jeff volunteered to sit and drink coffee that may have tequila in it and watch the rest of you guys as we sit at the thing and score keep.
Depends if I can lose the 20 pounds by the summer.
I don't know. Do you really need your right arm? That's an easy one.
Left.
Oh, okay.
You guys can sit out though. Like, I don't know, after bringing that up and saying how we got to keep information for the next episode, what people did vote, it's looking like you might pick a partner. It might be teams of 2, and you might have a team name. So we have an old timers team. The 2 old men.
Ooh, that was beyond the gray zone, young man. Now I'm going to go in your room and slap you upside. So Jeff, Jeff and I are going to.
All this is just what people want. So yeah.
Team Geritol, Andrew and Jeff throwing their hat in the ring.
I have an idea for that. I want to talk to you offline later about it, and I'm going to pick something very special. I'm picking something up next in a few months, very special from Ken. and I think it'll be very appropriate.
Oh,
But we'll talk.
interesting. I got to drop off, Connor. I got
Yeah.
your clamshells. I'm dropping off to get your TMC all taken care of. By the way, Connor, please at Christmas remember what we got you. We got you some nice stuff from MWR because your mother says, "Well, we're gonna go visit your sister in the United States, and he's gonna have no presents." I said, "He's getting stuff. He picked it. Can you take a picture of it so he can open it under the tree?" I said, "How freaking lame is that gonna be?" And Connor's like, "This is what I'm getting." A picture of it.
I'm in the same boat. We're going to be in
I
person for Christmas
understand.
this year, so nothing's coming with us. And I picked up
Ah,
Jared's gift
Really?
from Ken this week, so.
hey, is Jared and your wife joining us for our team dinner next week?
My wife is 50-50 because they're doing inventory this following week and they're moving warehouses. So maybe Jared, he has to call me tonight and let me know. So,
Okay,
so put me down for 2 spots. Put me down for
cool.
2 spots for sure.
All right, cool. So yeah, 1v1 I thought was great, and I think it's going to lead to bigger and better things. We already have an additional event. We want to add a MagFed event that is a whole other series of podcasts. I don't want to get too much into that, but the 1v1 or whatever it is next year, take up one field and do it. That other new event, which will be on this list to vote for, we're going to be talking about this in a year. We wrap up 2025, provided I'm alive. Otherwise, Connor, I'll show you how to do this before I kick the bucket, and we will be good. But I was actually really curious about how the next section would go. Because we started off, Connor and I playing paintball together, and you had Alex joined us pretty much right away. But it was Connor and I, and we started the doing the paintball videos and such. And so sometimes I don't. Although you're listening to this podcast, I wanted to put a section out specifically for the. I don't know if it's social media and stuff, but the electronic stuff we do. We got the videos. Of course, we had our 500th video aired this year. I've got over 100 in the bank right now. I got a lot. We had this podcast launch, which actually, without this podcast is done on Discord, and we launched Discord as well. And I really wanted the people to vote on this just to see what they liked on the technology thing, because not only from where we're from, which we make all these videos, but where we're going in the future. And I was actually very happy to see the results. You know what, Connor? Do you want to read the results in that? Have you got that up? Because otherwise I'm going to talk too much, and you guys are used to that when I'm at the field. You put up with my shit already, so it was between Discord, the podcast, 500 videos to choose from.
So since there's only like 3 of these like little technology milestones, like the big events where we had you pick your first and your second, we had it for this. The milestones you only pick one. So yeah, 6 people chose that the Discord was their favorite. 2 people picked the podcast, and 4 people picked the 500th C1D video release.
Now, let me.
Yeah, and there's no comments. I didn't put a thing for. Actually, no, there are comments.
There is.
Yeah,
For
there's.
this.
Yep.
Yeah,
So I can go through them. If
You want to go through them, sir? Please.
I'll sort it by, talk about the Discord first. So Andrew, great communication all in one place, which is what I love about Discord so much compared to other things. It's you can have stuff be so easily lost in a group chat, especially when you have so many people. Discord. I have what I wrote. I can finally talk to people since I don't use Facebook. Another thing, Jeff, while the podcast and the 500 video were impressive, the Discord server helped elevate our group and our game beyond any other platform could provide us. Very well said. Michelangelo, good for a phone addict like myself. And Miranda, it's a great way for everyone to keep in touch about life things while not being at the paintball games. Great. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, here's something is it's not a very well kept secret, and that is I really enjoy listening to the Maritime Paintball podcast and the Frontline podcast. And one of the things, so it was more. I know Jeff, you're a pretty avid listener to the podcast, other paintball podcasts as well. Is especially Maritime Paintball, but they were talking about building a community. And Discord, I think, is a great way. Like for those of you listening to this on Spotify, it originates from Discord. We still have a lot of we primarily started as a Facebook group to get people in outside of YouTube and Messenger's there. But I mean, everything is so structured here, and I hope you guys don't mind if I indulge. But I mean, if you look at our Discord, and people should do this, like Maritime Paintball Podcast, start a Discord. You got your announcements. You have a private room where some of the elders can talk. You got a general room, tips and trick, paintball memes, a chicken run. So it says your birthday. People trash talk each other. It's chicken run. It doesn't affect me since I'm born in December. Photo gallery to do with paintball. Then we have all the other stuff. Like we got Mike. Mike's already starting to buy stuff to start his own field in the future. We got random stuff like random memes. We got video games where we set up playing video games together. We have this stage and that, and we even have a little chat room about the different fields to go in the area and that. So I'm happy that Discord won. Well, big award, right? It's just I'm glad that the people appreciate it because unlike Facebook Messengers, you can go back and you can pull things around. And it's really, really a great platform. And I feel kind of self-serving putting our 500th video, like I wanted to pat him back on it. That was just inevitably going to happen. But, I wanted to compare it with everything.
Excuse me, sir. I've a thing to mention is Chris pointed out that Maritime Paintball Podcast does have Discord.
They do have Discord? Is that relatively new?
Yeah.
They got to upgrade? Okay, good. Good.
Yeah, not sure how old, but it's your point proven still, though. It's it's such a good idea to have.
I guess the way that they talk on the show is I just don't think they promote it too much. And I got to admit, sometimes it's like, I wish we had more stuff going on Discord. But as I started the show, I had the flu and I was out of it for a month. Thank God it wasn't the heart of the paintball season, as I remember them talking about it. So, they forgot about it is what Chris wrote. That's pretty upfront. Any more comments about our technology? And by the way, for the upcoming season, I kind of mentioned for Section 1 and big events, is we're probably going to add a MagFed event that we host to it. Hopefully we add that. As far as technology and that, look, we're still going to do videos. The podcast revolves around Discord. I just want to refine it and make sure people use it. And not dissing on I don't want to forget the podcast at all, but we started the podcast, I think, in March or April. And I figured we'd get maybe 8-10 episodes in the year. This is episode 16 right now. And we still might pop a couple more out by the end of the year. So, Mike, any last comments about the technology? And I know you're into that. You're actually one of our active guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm big with the Discord. I got a Discord of my own where I, keep in touch with all my friends across the country that we play video games with and stuff. So Discord's obviously great for all that. It was really hard to choose the milestones. There was obviously 3 great ones. Discord was amazing. The 500 videos, that's just an amazing milestone for you and C1D and everything. So that was a big one to have to, not click on. And what was the podcast? Obviously, I'm on, 9 out of 10 episodes. I love being here. I love talking about it. And so obviously I had to pick that one, but the podcast is just so much fun.
Connor, you are the man behind Discord. So I want to thank you for that one. And I would.
It's so tidy too. It's so much better than mine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! I mean, I just looked up stuff of what to include.
I mean, you put a pet corner. It's like, why do we have a pet corner? It's like, well, a lot of us have pets, and I saw it happening. I just like how Connor would say, no, don't put that in that room. Put it in that room. And it's like, you know what? He's keeping it neat and tidy. Great. Good.
Yeah. Well, I try not to be that guy who, please move this in the general, please, whatever. I just let stuff go. Like, that's a pet peeve of mine, is that we have a little black market section, well, off the black market, but where you sell stuff, right? And normally people start whole conversations in it So if you want to have something, it's just buried at the top. So nobody's going to see, the like Trent the other day posted a tank.
Mhm.
And I think it was like 2 weeks after that Green Rental pointed out for his buddy. It's like, hey, like you might want this. But it was all the way up there, right? Because everybody was talking in that channel
Yeah.
about it. And I could have been that guy to like, delete all the messages or say stuff. But yeah.
You will be warned.
I like to keep it organized, but I try not to be too
One morning.
OCD and controlling.
Van Woning. The Kaiser says Van Woning, and it is done. It is done.
Yeah.
You will be punished. There will be punishment.
There will be. Okay, now this is kind of fun because if you watch our videos, you know that there's a theme.
Never.
Like, all right, never seen them. I thought we're responsible for you surviving that open heart surgery. That and the doctors. Frickin' doctors always steal the thunder. There is a theme to each show, each day out, and because I make the videos, I of course know them inside and out because I get to watch each individual video, each game. I've had to watch it at least 5-6 times, so I kind of go crazy sometimes. But I was just curious to see what everybody liked, and there was a bunch of them this year. I think it was 15. There was Thaw, Wet Wind Slippery, Far Far Away, Controlled Chaos, Clash, Waterworld, 6 Shooters, Night Ops 2, one that's called it's also known as Voldemort. Long Ball, Off Balance, Night Ops 3, which is probably better known as the what's the video we did there? The black and white intro on Warzone Heights.
Highlights, yeah,
something like that. Purple Haze and Last Call. And I was just curious because I had my own. I'm going to tell you my the one I picked, number 1, was Controlled Chaos. That was a week before D-Day, which I thought was kind of risky to but you guys, I forget that I don't know if you're the same way, Jeff, but these guys want to play every weekend. I wish I could. But it's like, I don't know, but we had a good time. That's where Brant came out and jumped off the truck, running around half naked. And it was
an awesome day.
An awesome day. Hey, half naked guys running around. It's 2024, almost 2025. It was a really good day and a good feel to get us into D-Day, and I thought it was a blast. But the actual because this one was voted on 3, I believe, right, Connor? So I think here we had one that had 5 votes, but I guess if we're going on, how are we going to do this? Yeah, the gold, right? So the one that won the most, that had the most votes, it had four first place votes, was Operation Thaw, which was the first one of the year. And I believe we handed out, did we hand out the jerseys that day? Mike was there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Jeff was.
Wait, I was there on the iPhone on FaceTime.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Connor was. And yeah, that was
the day I busted my ass pretty good.
The actual paintball that day, it was good to get out there again. But I mean, we played at base. There was ice. It was like, okay, this isn't very playable. Market was like, I think next if we do it again, an early one next year, I think there's a good chance you'll see me in skates up there. And I just the little tractor, the trammy thing that brings you up to the top. Well, on in the summer when the shocks are nice and warm and everything's like working properly, it can still like bust your kidney. But that was a cold, bouncy ride up there. But it had been so long since we played. I loved it. Although I chose Controlled Chaos. I'm looking here, by the way. Jeff chose Controlled Chaos. Connor, you chose Waterworld, which was the one where, and that had a couple of votes. That was actually my second most. Why did you select Waterworld? Or you want to explain what the theme was? I know it, but I've already talked way too much.
Okay, I'll try to use my memory from that. So Waterworld was...
Ben.
Yeah, I know that. But there's one other thing I just want to look at quickly that I...
Waterworld, by the way, as it implies, it rained that day. It wasn't too bad, but it rained that day.
So it was just a pretty normal day of games, but I had one of my mom's students come out named Ben and his father Mike. Really nice people, and we had lots of fun. I played with Ben most of the day, and he his dad's butt a few of the games. We lots of fun. But otherwise, it was really cool. Is that we played when it was raining, but it wasn't like downpouring or anything. It was just like dripping. But it was cool to get that the little water streaks going down your mask, like when you're driving and you see like the water going down your windshield. Felt like I was playing like a Halo 3 ODST. You're on the nighttime levels where you see the water going down your visor on the screen.
Connor knows how to pull the heartstrings of Jeff and I mentioning ODST.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, it was cool. And another one of my favorites, I didn't put it in my top 3, but I like instantly regretted it. I can't remember what series it is. It might have been Clash or Controlled Chaos. It's when we went out, those first couple games, I really sucked, but it was when we start to talk with everyone else, all the new people that joined us, Damon and Jen. I had a lot of fun towards the end of the day. We had that big group.
Yep, Controlled Chaos.
Okay, that is Controlled Chaos.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was like kind of tied for number 1, both of those, even though I didn't put Controlled Chaos in my top 3.
Mike, you and Miranda both picked Thaw. Was that the sentimental thing of getting your jersey and just getting out there again, or what drove that decision for you?
For me, I actually didn't even talk to her about her answers, so I'm not even sure what. I'm assuming it was just getting out there finally with the guys after the winter and obviously the jerseys. But yeah, just getting out there after a little bit vacation, I think was my biggest influence of picking that one.
And Mike, I'd like to counter you on that you did speak to Miranda, because both of you guys used the same word of swag in your description. So that's I don't know. I think you might influence your answer by telling her.
I promise you, I didn't. I didn't. I thought she did it the one day I asked her, and then I asked her the next day. I was like, "Oh, did you do that?" And she's like, "No, I got to do it now." No influence. I just
commanded F and searched swag, and there's only 2 cases of it. The whole sheet, and it's both you guys.
Must be an American thing.
For those that don't know,
yeah, it's just the American language.
Connor is in psychology at a not the best school in the area, because he's in a good he's a respectable school in the area, so he's in the middle of finishing off his semester where he analyzes stuff, so he might be looking a little deep into that one.
I'm not psychoanalyzing Mike. Okay, relax.
Lies.
No.
Not to your face, Mike.
I don't do that.
No,
I don't do that.
All right.
He's got a list though. He's got a notepad between his mattress there. Okay,
You're sounding a lot like Grandpa right now.
Oh
my God.
Oh my God. Why don't you just come on here and kick me in the balls? You're just saying that. It's reminding me of my dad.
I'm sorry. He always thinks I'm going to put him in a home or send him to an asylum. So.
And we all know that's my job. He's my dad, just like I'm your dad.
Yeah.
You're the only one that puts me. I'm the only one that puts him.
Yeah, I'm the one putting you in a...
I'll call him to Cambridge tomorrow, Connor. I'll let you know how it looks like, all right?
Oh, God.
This episode brought to you by the Cambridge Retirement Home. Retirement Castle. It's got a super... Yeah, it's the Cambridge in front of IGA, right? Or no, the Cambridge is at the corner of...
High Mission Stillwell.
Yeah, so they put this. They've got these retirement. It's not really an old age home like when I was a kid. You'd go there and it was like basically a hospital. They're pretty swanky now. Apparently, a lot of sex between old people, which I guess makes a lot of broken hips. But anyway,
I'm bringing my parents there tomorrow to take a look. Don't say that to me.
Don't say that.
I'm bringing my parents there.
Are they living with you? Because if they're living with you temporarily right now, okay, so they they can get down anytime they want. Their son doesn't live downstairs 40 feet away from their bedroom, right?
I have nightmares when I used to be at home. The sounds, the drums.
Okay.
The drums. The drums, the saxophone music.
What was going on there?
The body oil.
I just call it drums because there's nothing else to make that noise in the room. Just the drums. It's just the drums.
The velvet
It's just
bathrobe. Where's the dog? Oh my
Oh,
God, the dog's in there. Okay. Actually, curiously, I think
Okay.
I mentioned it before. The most votes, although a lot of them were third place votes, was Night Ops 3. I like how the Night Ops has. I wasn't at the last event. It is even listed here. It's kind of after the season for me, but I think the field putting lights where they are in Village, I think we can have a really spectacular Night Ops event, and that I actually might even be part of our MagFed only event that we're still planning out for next year. So that's that's cool with that. So I just want to mention other ones. Wet and Slippery, that was Thomas's favorite. Thaw was Nick. Michelangelo, Mike Miranda's top one. Controlled Chaos, myself, Jeff, and Michael. Connor Waterworld, and Gene like Purple Haze. Gene, of course, joined the group late in the year, so very enthusiastic guy too, and that into it, good player. If you watch the videos, he's the guy in the one video on Tire Ball who crawled in from spawn on the top of the hill. And if you play
the drone video. Yeah.
the drone video, that's right. By the way, the I think I released the drone footage of that. Just the drone footage, Mike's drone footage. That's true, I did that. You have an advantage spawning at the top. Not as bad as it used to be, but I never would have thought you had a guy crawl in like that and get in there. Like, kudos to him. But now that he's done it, when we're lining up on the bottom of that field and he's on the other side, I'm going to the left and I'm gonna pick his ass off. That's for sure.
He's never doing that
Watching the
again.
ground.
He's
Never
never
doing that again.
doing it again.
No, he's like a very sneaky player.
He's-
Always like in
yeah,
your
so-
blind spot, and he's like a ninja almost. It's
He rocks the tip X.
Yeah.
Rocks the tip. Does he have dual tip X? I think he does, doesn't he? Or he's just got the one?
no, I think he only just runs the one.
But he's got about 1,000 magazines.
Lots of mags.
Lots of mags.
I give him like 3 or 4 every time too.
But he's
Yeah.
he's always at the next game. You talked about him being a ninja. I think he's got ninjas loading for him because he did well with that. So we did ask.
He's a very good player too.
Very good player, very nice guy too. Like, he won't throw it in your face, that's for sure. I actually looking forward to seeing him D-Day next year. And I think he's actually going to, I don't know if he's going to run the pistol mags. That's for another podcast.
Might just need a bigger pistol that
Might-
shoots bigger balls. Yeah. One
One
that he
Or
has to
just
use
a
2 hands
mule to
for.
carry
I
all
don't
of his
know.
mags.
There you go.
Yeah.
By the way, Connor,
Mad Caddy.
there you go.
Yeah.
Connor, have you decided if you're actually? I posted recently on. I put it on Facebook. I think I put it in the Discord as well. I talked about people should use Discord more. A picture of Connor actually using marker on D-Day, which me,
Mhm.
Jeff, and a handful of others had seen. And Connor, are you gonna
That's AI.
get?
that's It's not real. It's AI.
Connor, are you going to spoil us here? Are you
Like
considering?
all your videos, they're AI. Use AI to edit them.
That's right. That's
Don't
right.
actually do anything.
No,
No, I'm kidding.
And the ones with the spelling errors are the ones I did. Are you rocking a marker this year? What are you thinking? Are you just going to keep it a surprise? Still up in the air? Too soon? Reminding everybody that he actually ran a shield at 6EF, but I think if you're going to go shield or medic, I think you're much more valuable as a medic. But you still putting it up in the air or what?
I know. I mean, I'd like to do medic. The first year I did it, I was like really unprepared for it. Like just I didn't like train, and I don't ever like train for paintball, but for that I was like gasping for air, like felt like dying. And last year I figured out a good like routine to get into, and I was ready. And I was all feeling good until I hurt my leg. So I'd like to get out there and play the full day, like not having to give up. Like in that second half of the videos when we swapped sides, I couldn't run anymore because I twisted my ankle. I think I have to run it back.
Yeah, but you're being smart. When you're midfield there in the town, you can't go out too much. And the funny part, sorry, I'm just going to clear my throat here. every time you took a break, the general talk, it's like, hey, we need you up here. This big raspy voice. It's like, not once did you say, dude, I just finished. It's like,
I have to
you-
add that
It's
if
a tough
Connor
job.
wasn't being a medic, I don't think I would be playing as hard. I'd have to stay back, just not knowing. I mean, the other medics were great, but there was nothing that compared to Connor. It just like in the first rush that we did when he came up to the front line to get me. I didn't realize we were so far up and that he should, probably shouldn't have risked coming up to get me, but he did. So it's just, yeah, without
well,
Connor being a medic, I don't know how
Well,
hard I'd want
Thank
to
you.
play.
I think my experience, that was our fourth D-Day, right, Connor? I think it was our fourth or fifth. I think it was our fourth. It was our fourth because 6EF, two of them were Mirabelle. The first couple of times we went where there were medics, there were decent medics, but medic was like kind of the throwaway position. I think, like, okay, you go out to D-Day to have fun because it's a community event, it's a fun event. You'd like to win, but if you don't win, as long as you play hard, you have some memorable times. I mean, if you're out there for 4 hours, you're going to have some good times. It's just like 6EF was a disaster in the way the other team cheated, or an inordinate amount of the other team cheated. I'm not going to paint them all with that. But you get over it. I mean, we have a fun time, but the fact of the matter is, if you want to do well at D-Day, it's all about the medics. I think it has evolved that you need the medic. Connor was standing there yelling, telling players, go the F up and he's the medic. They're calling him. And, when you're at a big game, and this is a whole other podcast I was going to do, but I think it's very important to mention, is when you're at a big game, you got to talk to other people. You got to talk to other people. It makes it fun. Somebody offers you something. I make a dad joke. Connor will say something. And when Connor would talk to people on the videos, you saw they opened up and got them included. And Connor's like, medic coming up. And guys saying, protect the medic. And it's like, when you're at a big game, that's what you do. Even if you don't know anybody, you don't know their names, and the medic's beside you saying, I got to go up, throw cover. You say, okay, I got you. And you say, guys, cover the medic, get involved. And it just makes it more immersive and a lot more fun. And
For sure. And my big problem with playing the medic, though, is that people, because the rules are different everywhere, I guess, it's only towards the end of the day that people realize, like, oh, wait, instead of, walking back, I should get revived. And they understand the importance of, getting revived then compared to going back. And there's no rules for the medic. Like, I was speaking to some of the other medic at the start of the second half of the day. I don't think I mentioned this, but he said, like, yeah, they're allowed to come to you to get revived. Every other year I played, as soon as you start walking, you cannot get revived. You're dead if you stand up. The medic has to come to you. So all day I was, like, running to people when they could have just been coming to me.
Kind of running to you, yeah.
Which is kind
Definitely
of,
the people behind
that's
you.
dumb, because why don't I just sit in a spot, and just be a respawn beacon, basically.
well,
You can make that be anything.
Right.
But so I think it's cool before the game if they say, hey, if you want to get revived, the medic has to come to you. And so everybody understands from the beginning, right? It's like, okay, I either take that, like, 10-minute penalty or I can get revived. And people understand that it's important, to protect your medic, cover your medic. I'm not saying to be protected like a president, because I feel like I'm able to, like, hide and stuff, but it's like nobody understands until the very end of the games always that it's like, hey, let's cover the medic when he runs up. And by that time of day, I'm already so tired that it's...
Yeah, I don't want to talk D-Day too much because it could take us away, but I remember at one point in the latest video for this year's event, the last event, 2024, is guys way up, and you're like, you'd go like, he needs a medic. He goes, no, he's too far up. And it was the first opening minutes of the game. And guys around him heard that, but Connor was firm and assertive because effectively you're not a general out there, but you kind of are. You're one of the big guys. He's the most important person in the field is your medic. And then somebody would do that where they go, I need a medic. And the guy beside him, like at least once or twice, going, no, you're too far up. Come back. It's like they understand it. They get it. It's the fun about working together in a group of people. And I could almost get into a whole topic like how I think we worked well with other people during Operation Rush at Mirabel. But just the setup of the field, it wasn't, the fields weren't as big, although if we use the whole field, it'd be, but weren't able to interact as often, although we did find some fine people to run with on that. But look, I want to transition out of this because we want to talk to some of the other people as well. Like I said, there was another section talking about, what we're going to do in the future. The 1v1, is that going to be something different? I think it's safe to confirm that we will have another event like that, and we'll have a MagFed event that is still very preliminary. So,
Yay.
yay. Connor, if we have Connor, are you good with running MagFed? It's been a while. You have to practice, or you just
No, I wouldn't. I'd be melee only. I just run up and punch people.
Butt stuck to the face.
No surprise here. For those of you watching on YouTube, you'll see there's no surprise on his face. For those of you listening on Discord, there is no surprise on my face. Okay, so we've got some people here that if they want to say some stuff here, we still got Michelangelo, Mr. Green Rental, Thomas, and Chris. Thomas, would you like to chat if I invite you in? Would you be good with that, Thomas? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just invite him to speak. We'll give him a few seconds.
Do it anyway.
I'll do it anyway. And I do have other things to talk about if we get dead air here.
Well, I mean, if you wanna,
Sorry,
said no. If you want, I know that you said you want to leave it, but the big game I feel like is a lot of stuff. So I could talk a little bit about the tournament, just a little bit, because I haven't even started really. Just what people are saying, because I haven't actually planned anything.
Okay, you talk about that, then we'll have Michelangelo in. So yeah, talk about your preliminary ideas for the. We're still going to call it 1v1.
Yeah. So for it, I asked 2 questions. So asking what size people were interested in, so whether they want it like a 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, or greater. And I also asked for how they wanted the teams to be selected if it was like actual teams, so 2v2 or greater. So whether we just randomly make the teams, whether you sign up with your partners, or whether there's like a skill-based algorithm thing where you're matched with somebody so that each team is like on the same level. Yeah,
you can talk about the numbers. This is your baby, so you can say whatever you want for this. That's cool.
Yeah. It's not what it's gonna be, but this is what just people are saying. Is that so one person wanted a 1v1, 2 people wanted 3 more than 3-on-3, so whether that's 4v4 or 5-on-5. 3 people wanted 3-on-3, then the most amount was 7 people wanting 2v2, and kind of what I was planning in my little bits, like I haven't started anything, it's just ideas. I figured 2v2 would probably be the best, so I think that'd be great. Then in terms of the sign up, it's pretty much a 50 33 33 33 split between algorithm, random, and sign up. So pick on one of those, but there's definitely looking at the data, there's a correlation that people that kind of want to be part of those bigger groups want sign up with people, which makes sense, right? Is you get to pick your own team and you can come up with a strategy before. But yeah, we'll probably end up being a 2v2, I imagine. Don't want to repeat the 1v1. I'd like to have a team-sized one, and I think 2v2 would be a good number, but still have to figure out whether it's the teams, how the teams are selected, whether it's random, sign up, or algorithm. Mm-hmm. I guess since we have some of them, since we have all of us here, Jeff, I'm putting you on the spot. You said you wanted 2v2, so I'll ask you. And you said you wanted the teams to be randomly selected.
Well,
what is your reasoning?
He's analyzing
you. For random would be that way you have a little bit more a better chance of a balanced outcome. But there are times where there's some people I would rather play with more than others. So like I'm comfortable either with picking a team or like a random is just you don't know what you're going to get, and like it's like the chocolate and peanut butter. It's an accident. You don't know it's a wonderful thing until it happens, and you see how it works out. It's sort of like you don't know what you're going to get, and you might have something that works really, really well that you didn't expect, or that sucked. I want him again.
Yeah. But the algorithm, by the way, is a testament to what you set up last year, Connor. Is you had a pretty good algorithm by the first round in that, which was very thoughtful in that. So I think the people that set algorithm, trust that. By the way, I'm going to call him out right now. I'm going to call him out right now. The only person that wanted a 1v1, I can't call him out. It was one of the people in the finals, and I was in the finals, and it wasn't me. So it narrows it down to the guy who won the effing tournament wants it 1v1 again for some reason that's inconceivable.
He wants another damn cup.
Yeah. Yeah. Might have to take some money that day, like $20 each from everybody, and then pool it together and get prizes.
Then I guess Mike, you also said 2v2, and unlike Jeff, you said you want the teams to be sign up. You already told me personally why you chose this, but just tell, I guess, the people why you're interested in that.
Tell the people.
Yeah, I'll tell the people. I'll start with the 1v1 was amazing, and there was no reason besides just wanting to do something different because I had a blast on the 1v1. But I figured 2v2 would be really cool, and the only reason I picked sign up with Chosen Partner is just because it's always me and my wife never know whose team we're going to be on when we go 50-50 whether we're on the same team or not. So I just thought it would be cool if we did do a 2v2, snag her up and we do our thing and see how well we actually work together. And yeah, I just thought it'd be really fun.
That could be an awkward
little bias.
Awkward drive home, by the way, if things don't go a certain way. Yeah. Mike sends me a text. Do you want to accidentally maybe you accidentally forgot to record that game, Andrew? It would be kind of handy. No. I mean,
I think it would be pretty fun.
Yeah, so I mean that's in the works here. I mean, where we're hosting it, I mean, I think a 2v2 would be great on Tireball because the other field just couldn't necessarily handle it. Plus, I mean, we have so many. We have this.
I have an idea.
Oh, okay. You know what? We got to leave some surprises.
I have an idea. Yeah, I'm not telling anybody, regardless of whatever. I'm not telling people because the reason why I picked Tireball in the first place, other than it being a small map good for 1v1, it got changed. So I wanted people to not have a strategy they always do. So, well, that too is that, when you're playing on base, because base, I would say market, but market has had so many changes, but base, your patterns of what you like to do, dropping you onto Tireball, it's such a new thing that you won't have a pattern that you're so used to, like you're conditioned to run to the big stack of tires, those tractor tires, which aren't there anymore, right? You don't have that anymore. And that's why I liked it. Yeah. I didn't like people that went there. Anyways,
I know.
So for this next tournament, the idea is that it's obviously there's not going to be a brand new field. I have a few ideas in mind of cutting up the field in a certain way that it's like, the hell, like this, it's never played like this. So it's spots that are normally bad might be good to play in. And so I have an idea for village, for market, and for base right now, one for each to make it whatever. So I'll try to figure out which one's the best depending on what we land on for 2v2 or 3v3. But yeah, keep people on their toes. So it's, even if we're playing market, that all these spots, it's it's going to be something.
Okay. Do keep me in the loop because one thing I liked, I'm just nerding out here, is on I think I had good camera angles for what we did on Tireball.
Yeah, no, I would let you know. I would let you know for sure.
Well, I guess so. I mean, we'll figure that out. Okay, look, we got some guys that have been patiently waiting here. Is that okay, Connor? Or are we good with that for now?
No, that's all good.
We got other podcasts. It's a long winter, so we want that. By the way, we are going to have a Connor and I are going to be going to New Mexico in a couple of weeks. we're going to try to get out to that field I was at last March, and my son-in-law to come with us as well. So we might have a paintball event there. But the next paintball event, like official event, is we will going to have exclusive indoor rental in January. And even Ben, our junior guys are going to be there. I want to get, because it's the only event for a while, hopefully get a whole bunch of people there. I want to pull out some old games from the old Arnold's days. We're going to go back to Arnold's. We're even going to, Connor, should we see
Wow.
if the condensed jail, you can still do jail? I don't want to ever play jail.
Honestly, I don't know, because it's gotten like a
Weird.
Well, there's no roof. The roof sucks now.
it's weird now, because it lost like I'm trying to think of an analogy, but it's like from Attack on Titan, the Rod Rice Titan that crawled, and when he stood up, half his face was missing. They just took the building and just cut off the front of its face, so it's only like whatever. It's like, what is this place? I don't know if you could play jail now.
Just like that scene on Attack on Titan, it's grotesque what it is now, but we'd figure that out. Okay, let's invite Thomas Decline. So we're going to invite Michelangelo. You remember the guy I said the only one who voted for a 1v1 again, and he's the one that won it last year?
No.
Yeah. And he's the guy that when he won a pitcher of rum and Coke at Operation, the hell was it called again? 6EF? Rush. We needed him and his buddies with the big guns, but he's drinking rum and Coke like, I don't know, he's on the terrace on Crescent Street trying to like impress some F1 bimbo. Michelangelo. So this is, it's the end of the year show. What do you want to talk about for your 5 minutes of fame? And you can see he's been casing out. You see all those license plates on the top of his thing in the picture? We're looking at his camera. He's got all these license plates. He usually has them in the car, so this way the cops can't properly identify him. That's a pro tip. Michelangelo, always good to have you out. So how's it going for you tonight?
Good. I'm working.
You're working?
Believe it or not.
Oh.
Believe it or not. No, I'm like working from home, just kind of like getting ahead on work for tomorrow, kind of thing. Like I'm not really working, but like I'm bored and I'm getting old, so I'm working, kind of thing. If that makes sense.
That money.
Yeah, no, like it's like free overtime right now. It's just like which kind of sucks.
Don't make that money.
Yeah, we're not making no money.
Yeah, but you want to say.
I have a question for you. I have a question for Mikey. So on the sheet, one of the questions we asked was where you'd like to see C1D play regular games next year, like as a one-time outing. Who said Voodoo? You want to go to Voodoo? Have you been there before?
Well, a lot of my my speedball practices with the team is at Voodoo. So like,
okay.
When I'm there, I see like the rec ball field and stuff. So like I haven't played on the rec ball field because like I'm usually there like practicing, doing drills and stuff. But like it's always like kind of teasing me because I know they have like a somewhat mimic Nuketown map.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I mean it's a bit used up. You kind of see like a lot of the paintballs and stuff with time, like any field, but like a kind of like nostalgic kind of thing I want to try out. So it's like just kind of constantly seeing a field and it's like getting teased because I don't get to like play it. So that's kind of why I put it.
No,
Ben, I'd love to go there.
Well, Michelangelo is probably, I think out of all of us in the group, he probably plays the most paintball over the course of the year, just between his speedball and everything. The one thing I remember about Mikey during this year the most is at D-Day, you guys were practicing speedball on the Saturday, or you were everywhere. Yeah. Dude, I mean, I know you're young and all that, but oh my God, I mean, I'm shocked that your legs were in it as much as they were on the Sunday.
And then what made it worse was like Saturday was just so like humid and it was just so sticky and yucky that then like I just had like a rookie mistake or just kind of oversight where I didn't bring water with me.
No.
And like it was so bad to like the point I was getting dehydrated where my hands were like cramping, like I couldn't like close them. So it was just like towards the end of the day I was just so finished on Saturday, and then I went back home to Montreal, and then the drive back the next day it was so brutal, but it was worth it. That's like it's not even a question about it though. Like D-Day was pretty peak. Like it was S tier.
Let me actually. Yeah, Michelangelo also chose Operation Thaw as his favorite event last year. It's because he wanted all those beautiful clown-like speedball uniforms he's got, and he wanted a decent-looking one, so he's got the C1D one now. So he's good with that.
Got it.
That's it.
Okay, so Mike, it was nice. It was real, but it wasn't real nice. We're going to kick you out now, and we're going to invite.
Love you, Mikey.
Well, I'm
Mike,
leaving.
Relegated.
yeah, I was going to thank you, Mike. Jesus, Mikey just screws
Mikey.
up. Yeah, but he was doing that
Like,
on
oh,
the
you're gonna
clock.
fire me? I guess I'll just quit.
He was robbing his company there. He was robbing his company. Okay, we're going to invite Nick. I don't know if Nick wants to be on.
Well, Nick said he's got his baby,
baby.
is yeah.
Does that
Having
mean
a bad night.
You mean his child or his side chick? Okay.
All right.
By the way,
So I think we have to make some C1D New Year resolutions, and Dad, yours is to read the chat from now on. That's your
yeah,
New
but
Year's
you see,
resolution.
my video. No. My screen is recording all of us talking for the YouTube thing, and when I pull that open, actually, I should put open at the start, and it would solve it. I will.
I'm
fix
just
it.
but you got 3 screens, so
I know.
it's on your middle screen, even, right?
No,
I don't know.
No, but you see the chat.
I'm kidding.
The chat you see in the top right where it says show chat. It's different because
Yeah.
I go in the room, the podcast discussion, and it doesn't show. That's a different one. It doesn't show the same stuff there. So I got a reason. So he's got that. Okay, you know what we're gonna have? Green Rental. Do you feel like talking? Chris is like, if he doesn't say anything, I'm
He's
next.
typing.
Green Rental. I'm gonna invite him.
I don't think he
No, but I don't.
CH didn't fill out the form.
He's a quiet guy. It's like him on the field. He's quiet. And he just shoots you in that. So, and by the way, Mr. Rental is next week. I am putting a new post up. We are ordering more swag. We're getting the armbands in particular. We're ordering anything. So if you want, except the Purple Haze tech tees, those are no longer available. But we will put. That's it. Because we got Jeff there showing his off. Although we'll probably get jerseys for next year on that. But if you want to order regular jerseys, regular green ones, which I still love and pops better on D-Day, mixing in the green there. We're also going to get some microfibers. I think we're going to go with the regular ones we had before and some purple ones, some Purple Haze ones. So we're going to get some swag. We'll start an order next week. We'll close it up in January and get those in for us here. Chris, you would like to talk? I'm going to invite him here. Chris, by the way, very active in the community. You'll see him. He listens to a lot of podcasts. He makes a lot of posts at different places. He is from Saskatchewan, which I think you're on mute here. I don't know if that's me or not on it. If you're on,
No, I think it's him. He's on mute.
That's his end. So just get
that's his end? Okay.
He's doing his makeup.
He's doing his. I'll tell you one thing is I wish Chris lived quick, not as far away because I'm sure he would be down, and he's got a really cool series of videos of helping set up a paintball field that they're setting up there in Saskatchewan. And if you got
probably got one of the nicest views ever. It's right off the Saskatchewan River. Literally.
So,
yeah, I've been keeping a close eye on those videos, taking some tips from them.
Okay.
So if you were to fire a paintball, we could still see it 3 days afterwards flying?
That's it?
Probably, yeah. I mean, you'll see it floating probably through Muscadet, and then I can't remember which way that river flows, if it goes up through PA or if it goes through Sask. I can't remember.
I think it was through. I think it was through and heads towards Alberta.
I think that's
Yeah.
it's weird. I
Yeah,
can never
it
remember
goes
which
towards Edmonton.
river it is.
Yeah, the Saskatchewan River goes through Edmonton. Yeah, it's weird, but anyways.
So Chris, and by the way, Chris, I know you're always knocking, like you kind of self-deprecate about your videos and nobody watches them. They're very high quality. Remember this, okay? Where when you're posting something on YouTube, you're competing with 60-second videos of just people doing things. I just the strangest things in the world that gets millions of views, and we play a niche sport, and it's just it's hard to get a lot of views on it. You just keep making quality and keep doing stuff you like, because when your videos are enjoyable, I like them. And if
Thank you.
10,000 people don't watch each one, well, then there's 9,999 that are missing out. Okay, so don't worry about that. And look, I know you didn't run with us this year, but look, what was your highlight of the season for yourself? Paint a picture for us that aren't familiar with your stomping grounds for paintball.
For me, most of the fields that are near me are like the two I frequent the most are about an hour and a half away from me. So I either go to Saskatoon and play at DNC, which I made it out, I think, 3 or 4 times to play. Then the other one I go to quite regularly for speedball is GQ Paintball. Got a little
There
sign
you
there
go.
for him. And that's the field that I'm currently helping build. We're not really doing anything over the winter, but in the spring I'm going to be there hopefully quite a bit, and we're going to be setting up his store, which my last video I posted was us actually starting the work in the Atco trailer, so he could actually get the store, everything just in one spot. Then we actually set up quite a bit of his rental stuff too, just like the rental front.
I like your random video too, where you're just helping out the kid. Just stand at the sign lines. You got a fine marker in his hands, and just letting him, trying to get the kids into it. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's effectively how we started, just to get people involved in that. But how far? Like Alpha's in northern Saskatchewan, correct?
Yeah, he's in out by Lloydminster. I did manage to go up to their field.
Mm-hmm.
I have a video series coming from that. I currently have to work on the field review, which I've been kind of lagging on. I've been kind of putting it off because I have to do one part.
Chris, I told you, Chris, don't dump on yourself for your videos. They're fine. They come out.
No, it's just it's just been kind of I have to do some of the negative stuff about it, which I'm not really too pumped to do, but it's kind of gotta take the good with the bad. But like,
well,
it'll come out. That one will be like till April, because I've actually got like videos from now till April that are currently uploaded, and then once I get that field review, I'm probably gonna have till like May or June. So I'm actually quite set up good. Then once I get playing,
I love field review videos too.
Field review.
I've done like a couple field tours, like the DNC. I did like a couple when I first started. I did one tour, then 2 or 3 later, since he updated some stuff, I did another, and that one's actually pretty popular. And then I did a field tour at probably the best MagFed field here is Army Paintball in Swift Current, and that's just an awesome playground.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you have something, there's no field is perfect. So, I mean, if you're afraid of saying something negative, I mean, remember, I mean, it's literally, hey, well, something they can work on. And if you're doing a video, and let's say you just talked about a field that's perfect for MagFed. I mean, a polite way to say, like, if I was talking about an indoor field, an indoor field that is geared more towards airsoft and speedball guys sitting in the back camping through windows. A polite way to say is, well, if you're MagFed, it may not be the best field for you, or they're working on it. So there's always polite ways to say things. But after all, I mean, well, Mike isn't, but Mike's used to dealing with Canadians. is they say we're really polite, but
So
to your face maybe, but
I saw in the chat Michelangelo wanted to see a close up of this. Yes, this is an OG
Ooh.
bandana frame. I got it from my uncle. He used to play back in 05, so this is like a.
oh
The
geez,
bottoms are an 06, made in 8th month. I can't find it on the
Wow.
frame right now, but yeah, I'm pretty much gonna retire these because it needs a new strap. But like, the strap is pretty cool.
Truth be told, these guys and their JTs, I mean, it's like a cult. It's
so
like
nice.
a cult. It's Jeff.
They're unholy company though.
Jeff, did you avoid the JT cult?
I have a JT jersey
Now, Tom. By the way,
Tom,
Thomas is listening right now, popping off. Maybe I should go on and talk. It's okay.
I've got a couple
I know that
JT
Michael
jerseys
got one of those.
too.
Yeah,
My friend Michael got one of those masks, and he didn't. Honestly, I don't really know too much about equipment, like the inside things and whatever. All I knew when I saw him with his new mask, I'm like, don't let Michelangelo see you with one of those. He's got like thousands of them at his house. Yeah, but no, his is an OG. Yeah, it's a new one.
Yeah, Michelangelo would walk over him to talk to him. If I got a JT, Michelangelo would walk over, start talking about it, and I'm going to say, "It's blue, and it's soft and it's blue. Can you dye it purple for me?"
I'm waiting for the purple ices to come out in February. Those are going to be probably pretty sweet.
Purple. Actually, how does a JT hand? I heard that the JT isn't great if you're going to mount your camera on the top ribs. But I think
there's a guy who does. I think it's Super Dead. I've seen like a guy who actually has a whole like mount that goes pretty much from like one side to the other, and it's supposed to be like super stable.
Really cool. As long as
That's what you need.
Oh yeah,
I noticed.
Oh,
the mounts are too small, and it just causes too much with the plastic. It causes too much. So yeah, that would solve the problem, I think.
Yeah, I think Mike and I are going to talk about. I know I want to do a little podcast in the off season about making videos and stuff like that. And honestly, like I had my setup for a few years, and this year at one point it had become loose, and I just had to rethread it and put it in, and all of a sudden I didn't have issues with the camera anymore. But okay, Chris, now it's time. Unlike Michelangelo, we don't want you running out without saying goodbye properly. But then again, Michelangelo is quote unquote working from home. So
working hard.
Yeah, Chris, I'd like to have you on a podcast with me and Mike where we're going to talk about video editing and that. Probably start that up in January. Just to give tips and all that. And we're not professionals, just to talk about it the way we do there.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're oh my God, we're an hour and a half into this. This is what happens when I don't talk paintball for like a month. We're rocking and rolling here. Now we are going to have, like I said, a lot of shows in the off season. In particular, talking about the off season for Mike. This is his first. I know last year because you and Miranda just got into paintball. And I said, "Oh, what do you guys do in the off season?" You guys didn't want to stop playing. I have to have an off season. It's just the way it is.
I think that we're gonna probably be a little more relaxed than we were last winter, but I think that we're still gonna get out there as much as possible. We're gonna go down to Capital Combat Zone because they run up all year, all winter long.
Cool.
Really?
And there's Army, which as long as there's people that want to show up, they're there. Because they have their pro shop and whatever that they have.
Yep.
But yeah, so they're just open as long as people are there. We went down a couple winters. Albany's really mild winters, so it makes for good. I mean, it's pretty soggy, but it makes for good gameplay. No issues. And of course, Army Globe. I'd like to go there a few times this winter because it's indoors.
Well, that's probably where we're going to have our January event, which will be nice.
Yeah, but last winter, I think there was some weeks where we were going 3 times a week.
Yeah.
We were just coming home head to toe covered in bruises. We couldn't walk, and it was
Mhm.
so yeah, exactly. We were addicted. So I think
Watch what you
we're gonna
say.
take it
Don't
easy
get me
this.
started when you're telling me you're leaving Army Grove and you got bruises because you're going to take me down that freaking rabbit hole. That's why I want to do an exclusive there. Okay, look, we got an hour and 20 into this. I figure since like I said, we'll probably have one or two more podcasts with just little ones we'll pump out before the end of the year. But effectively, this is the year-end review. So I'm going to probably use the word improperly. I'm going to reverse engineer this. We're going to go for last words here. Mike, you're the noob in the host right now. So what do you want to say for the end of the year? Just a couple of things as and how it went and where it's going in your opinion.
I think that this year was amazing. Obviously, it was my first full year, but we did a lot of outings, a lot of Warzone games, and they were all great. And we got a few big games in, and I think that all the planning that went into this year shows a lot. At the backing that we have with Connor, and you and Andrew and just everybody who puts forward effort into getting this stuff going. I think it was an awesome year, and I'm really excited to see what we have planned for next year. And I hope that we get as many big games as we got in this year or more. And the biggest thing I would like to go to a few new fields, like we talked about, because one of my biggest things was it was my third choice for my game day was when we went to Lancaster, playing with a small group at a field that none of us had played on before, and it just made for such an awesome day.
Tomorrow's video is Lancaster. It's the first game on Bunker Hill, actually. So yeah, funny you mentioned
Nice.
that.
I'm excited for that. It was a super good time getting out there doing something new. Like I said, where nobody knew what was going on, nobody knew the fields. But I'm just really excited to see what we got cooked up for next year, and yeah.
We skipped out on that question, but that was a thing quickly just to bring up is Black Ops, Fort West, Voodoo, Phoenix, Lancaster, all places we're considering for next year. Like to go to maybe a few months.
Oh yeah,
got a cold coming on.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I've got an idea for Lancaster. If you're talking about a 2v2 tournament, Lancaster is the field to do it. You got all those fields.
Oh man,
all those fields. Well, maybe Bunker Hill not as much, but their other fields are perfect for 2v2.
Your tall grass one would be cool.
Yeah, I love the tall grass one. And the world's worst segue. Speaking of Jeff, what are your thoughts on the season?
I loved it. It was great. I wish I could have played more, but work just sort of got in the way with a rotating schedule and a 4-2. But what I was able to do, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with the guys, and it was just awesome. It was just a really, really fun time. It was a good year, and like I said, D-Day was a blast.
Yeah, D-Day
was awesome.
Was probably the highlight of my paintball. I don't know, call it career. Career implies you get paid. I'm the last person that would get paid to play paintball. Connor, what are your thoughts on the year? Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm sorry, I cut you off. I'm good at that.
Well, that, like I said, close to about 1v1. Like the 1v1 was really well run, well organized, and it was fun just to be able to see what we could do on our own and just see how we played. Like it was just you're so used to seeing from the side angle or you're with them up, but just watching each person play and how they move and how they recover. It was fun to see.
Connor, I'm saving the last word for me. So, Connor, what are your thoughts on the year and where we're going?
Well, I'm excited for. Too excited, I guess, to talk about what's coming next for 2025. But looking back, definitely my favorite year of paintball I've had yet in my little career. Lots of fun memories and outings and events. And yeah, looking forward to the future. I'm definitely thinking a little bit of what you guys, especially Mike Miranda, can be getting me and my dad this time instead of those awesome sweaters. Maybe they get us a new house or something. That's a good idea.
New house.
Or or maybe they get us both EMFs or something. Too expensive, right? Just get us our own
See what
EMFs.
Too
happens.
ugly. Too
But
ugly.
yeah, just letting you know. So looking forward
I
to
don't
that
know.
especially. I'm kidding. Thank you again for
Writing
the
it
gifts.
down.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
How do you spell
Glad you
EMF?
guys like
I don't know.
UGLY.
Ask
UGLY. Well, I want
I
to.
don't know. Have you seen Thomas's? Thomas's is looking pretty sexy after he bought that barrel from Mikey.
I never want to play against Thomas again if he's got an EMF. That's all I got to
The
say.
Conceptions Designs ones are
They're gonna
pretty
be
sweet
deadly.
too.
Yeah, there's MWR is going nuts, making stuff for that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to have the last word here. Look, one thing I want to do is I want to thank everybody, whether you watched a video, whether you came out to play with us or against us, whether it was at a guy like Trent that ironically lives around the corner from where Connor and I do, that just shows up on Operation Rush and we end up playing with him, or whether you're somebody like I'll give the example of Alex and Michael that we've been playing with for years. This year I had a lot of help. Nick is listening right now. Nick did a lot of organizing. Nick likes to schmooze, and it benefited the group because he knew what was going on everywhere. He knew who was showing up where, and that was a huge help. Mike for helping not only with the podcast but so many things. So many people have helped. Thomas, Thomas was the first guy right before Jeff that we started to play at Army Globe with. Not at Army Globe, at Warzone with, because
Warzone.
we played at ASA. It's always great to have him out, and I know Jeff obviously. So many people. I don't want to say everybody because then I'm going to forget the one. Even seeing Green Rental, new guy come out with him and Felix and I think it's Felix's dad and that. I just want to thank everybody for embracing just the thing to go out there and have fun. Look, one thing I learned at D-Day, and even the 1v1, we're actually pretty good. And I guess for the amount of money we each individually spend and time we spend out there, I hope we're at least good a couple times a year. But it's not about that, it's not about that. It's about, as I sit here with a trophy behind me, I can honestly say I was worried at one point. It's like, well, if we just keep letting people into the group, who knows if somebody is like a loose cannon or whatever, or doesn't gel with everybody. And as our numbers start to get bigger, it's like, no, actually, we've got a good crew. We've got a diverse crew. It just fits so well. We had different types of adversity this year. Nevin got into an accident that damn near cost him his life. And to have him come out again was great. It's one thing to say, like when I played hockey for years, it's like there was some guys I played with for 2 or 3 years, and it's just a guy I play hockey with. Is he your friend? Well, he's a guy I play hockey with. I can honestly say that in our group, I've got a really almost everybody's. I'm friends with everybody. And and as you get older in that, and I do like my solitude a bit more, and get off my lawn is perfect for me. Clint Eastwood and all that thing. I like to feed my squirrels, and I like people, but at one point, they're effing annoying. But we really do have a solid, good group. We have each other's backs. Not look, and if you just come out and just want to shoot the ball and just have fun, you don't have to, just sitting in the staging area. I absolutely love going to paintball and sitting in the staging area. And we talk about all kinds of weird things. Chorizo, the night of chorizo, which is one of the the chorizo series is a night event, because I brought a bag of chips from Mexico that were chorizo, and we kind of had fun on the side for about 20 minutes, even though I gave him the Connor and he didn't eat any. I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate that you appreciate what we kind of stand for in this. And look, here's to many more years to come. again, thanks for everybody's help, and you've all done a lot of different things to help. So I don't want to say everybody was helped individually, because ultimately I'd forget something, because with so many people, so many great events, so many games, hundreds of games we played over all the fields and all the nights. I don't want to forget anything. Just countless memories with that. I honestly sit at night sometimes now and I watch videos, old videos I made, or even just even just a year ago, and it just brings a smile to my face. Just oh yeah, I remember that, and that's the first time he came out, and this guy did this goofy thing, and things I didn't have when I was playing. I think guys like Thomas and Jeff that have been playing for years, or even Chris, before. I'm not sure how long Chris has been playing, but we got these memories and that can bring us together. And yeah, even 5 years. There you go. This is about the same as us.
7 years, I think.
Oh, 7 years.
I had to think how long I've been. 7, 8 years.
Just look at your bank statement. When it took a drop, it's when you started to play paintball. Look, even at Operation Rush, where we faced adversity, I felt, you know what? I really disliked making the first 2 videos of that because I had such a sour taste. And then I realized we made the best of it. We talked to people, we sucked it up, and we did our thing. We didn't let it ruin our fun, because if you're playing paintball to win, we don't want you. As your primary thing, we don't want you. Come out, have fun, respect everybody, and hey, if we win, we win. And yeah, and Ketchup Guy is going down next year. That's all I got to say. Ketchup Guy.
Man.
Give him the mustard.
We'll give him the mustard. We will get Ketchup Guy.
Ooh.
Yeah, so okay. Thanks for listening, everybody. Remember to like the podcast. Do me a favor, and I don't really ask this regularly. It's at the end of some of the videos and that. But if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe, and go out there, have fun. We're going to talk about building a community. Now, I can't guarantee it's going to be as vibrant as ours, but there's a lot of tools. We talked about the Discord to start on the first half of the show. Really good tool. Look, enjoy the times you're out there, because you don't know. One day it's going to be the last time you're on the field, and I'm not saying you're going to drop dead. Maybe maybe cocaine's involved, maybe a car accident, maybe you get a sport, maybe you just say, moving on. But play every game like it's your last one, and be consistent and walk away having fun, because yeah, that's why we do it, right? And yeah. So thanks for watching. Thanks for Mike. Thanks for Connor. Thanks for Jeff hosting. Thanks for the guests. We had Chris. We had Michelangelo talk. Green Rental, Thomas, and Nick were there. Nick's got a baby in one hand and a probably, what does Nick drink? Maybe spiced rum and Coke with a lime. Does he drink martinis?
I think it's a beer.
It's a beer.
Kind of
Is
beer.
it a craft
Yeah.
beer? Is it an apricot like craft beer? No, it's a strong ale. It's a warm British beer. Okay, till next time. Thanks for listening, and all those things I just said that I'm repeating again. That's it for this episode. We'll be back.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to like us, rate us, and tell everybody about us. Thanks for listening.